Are you looking to level up your charisma, build your social circle, speed up rapport with other people? But you feel as though that this is going to take you too long. Why would I waste so much time improving people skills when I have other obligations to take care of? Here's the thing with social skills. It's not the big glitz and glamour that matter. It's the small, minute little details that matter the most. And the most important little detail in the world of social skills that you can leverage is the name. It was Dale Carnegie who said that a human's name is the sweetest sounding noise in their world. A lot of us, we've read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, but do we understand what Dale meant when he was talking about the name? Because if we did, then we would take the name much more seriously. Not only would we get the name from other people, we would remember it long enough to use it, not only for one interaction, not two, not three, but more. Yet, there's a problem. The problem is that we keep forgetting people's names in order to leverage that long-standing connection, to build a ripple effect of social skills. That's not good. Because when you forget someone's name, it hurts the likability. It makes the other person think that they weren't important enough for you to remember who they were. Because remember, the name is a part of their identity. And when you forget someone's name, you hurt their ego, aka their identity. In today's episode, I'm going to give you a simple technique in order to become better with names. Analogies have the power to change our life because it helps our subconscious mind understand a concept much better. And once our subconscious mind understands the concept, then we can alter our behaviors. One of the analogies you're going to learn about today is how the name is similar to food, but just not regular food. More specifically, the seasoning. The seasoning, without that, a lot of our favorite dishes wouldn't even crack top 10. But with the seasoning, game over. That's what makes our dishes feel powerful. In today's episode, you'll realize why it's the name that is the seasoning of every dish, aka social interaction, that makes you feel powerful. If you're ready and excited to level up your social skills, be sure to drop a like for me right on below. When I was a freshman in college, I was going through a moment where I was trying to create my identity. I didn't know who I was, I didn't have much friends, and I was looking to meet new people. I was going to a lot of different organizations, clubs, meetings, and a lot of fraternity events. And once I started to go to these fraternity events, there were different individuals that were trying to rush me. And rushing basically means they're trying to recruit you into their organization. Well, after going to a few of the events, eventually I went to this one party where everyone seemed to be having a lot of fun. Everyone but me. I was standing in the corner, bored, didn't know anyone, and I felt as though I was just wasting my time. As 30 minutes passed on by, there was this individual named Sagar, I would say a year or two older than me, that came by, introduced himself, and got my name as well. Yo, Armani, nice to meet you, bro. How about I introduce you to the different people in this party? And for the next hour or two, he started to introduce me to his fraternity brothers, a lot of the cute girls at the party, and different people as a whole. He started to get me integrated into the party. After the event was done, he said that his fraternity was going to be throwing another party next week, and he wanted me to roll on by. Deep inside, I knew that Sagar was trying to recruit me, but a part of me felt as though he was recruiting me in a respectable way. Rather than shoving flyers down my face, he was guiding me as a friend. Next week, I ended up going to his party again, and as soon as I found him, I was like, yo, Sagar, what's good, bro? He looked at me with a confused face, and he says, I know you. Remind me of your name again? And when he said that, my likability of Sagar plummeted from here all the way to here. And at that point, I didn't know if I wanted to join the fraternity because it felt as though the personalized connection that we had in the initial stages was now stretched apart. This was a strong moment for me because I started to understand the importance of remembering someone's name. Because if Sagar remembered my name, I would have felt as though our connection was real. Our friendship, which wasn't necessarily a friendship, it was a little connection, was real. But since he forgot my name, I felt as though he didn't value that bond, value that recruitment proposition. That moment with Sagar woke me up as well, because I was thinking, Armani, you're over here so angry at Sagar, but you do the same exact thing. You keep asking these people for their names in these different events that you're going to, but how many of the people do you remember? None. I know their face, but I don't know their names. And as Dale Carnegie said, it's the human's name that is so powerful in the world. As some time went on by, I wanted to do something about this. And that's when I started to learn that it's not just about getting someone's name, it's about using the name throughout the conversation. So that could be your biggest problem. If you can understand this concept, you can start gearing your life towards remembering people's names much better. When you get someone's name, are you getting it with your subconscious mind or with your conscious mind? You want to know this. When you get it with your subconscious mind, what you're doing is you're just asking for the name for formality's sake. Hey, my name's Arman. What's your name? And when you say it like that, it's just something that's sort of being shuffled through. You're not doing it with consciousness, with full intent. Don't just ask for names just simply for the sake of asking for names, because that's the quickest way to forget. I want you to start using names with the sole purpose of using it throughout the conversation. Just like seasoning. I told you I was going to give you an analogy in the beginning of this video, so let me give you that analogy. When you go to the grocery shop and you buy all your food and you buy your seasoning, you buy your salt, your pepper, your garlic powder, and you come home, you're cooking your dish. As you're cooking your dish, do you leave the salt, pepper, and garlic powder in the cabinet? No. You use it in your dish. Otherwise, you got it for no reason. And it's the same thing with conversations. Do you get someone's name and you leave it in the cabinet? Or do you use it in the dish, aka the conversation? Most of us, we get all the seasoning and we leave it in the cabinet. Our cabinet is filled with all this different seasoning, yet our dish tastes bad. So what I want you to understand is that when you get someone's name, you have to use it in the conversation. How many times do I use it, Armani? That's solely for your judgment. This is a creative act. So I can't tell you use it 5 times for a conversation that's 10 minutes long. I can't be giving you those sort of formulas. All I want you to understand is that it's sort of like seasoning. When you overdo it with the seasoning, your food tastes bad. When you don't add enough seasoning, your food tastes bad. But in the middle ground, this is the territory where your food tastes delicious. So I just want you to get in the habit of using the name and using it in a way where it feels normal, where it doesn't feel weird. And for this, you have to analyze your vibrations within. If you're having a conversation with a guy named Matt and you're like, hey Matt, how are you doing, Matt? Honestly, Matt, this was a long time coming, Matt. And you're just using their name after each sentence, you come off looking crazy. Instead, just be like, yo, Matt, what's good? You just use it once, and throughout the conversation, you sprinkle it in again. And every single time that you keep sprinkling it in a way where it feels okay, the more memorable that you're becoming. And you're not just using the names in a conversation where things are going well. Using the name is a great method to de-escalate a situation. The worst thing you could tell someone who's angry is to, yo, calm down, all right? Calm down. All that does is it makes them angrier. But when you say their name a few times and you just pause and listen, that does wonders for the de-escalation process. So it's the name that matters. It's the name that's just like the seasoning. It is the name that is their identity. The more that you can leverage the name, the more that you're working on these small little details that add so much value into an interaction. And it's these sort of values that adds on up and allows you to become extremely charismatic in the near future. So if you want more practical insights like that into the world of social skills, make sure you check out The Charisma King, a book that discusses the power of names, the power of introduction, how to break the ice, how to build a social circle, and much, much more. To grab a copy, check out the description link in the description box right on below. Thank you for joining the Armani Talks YouTube channel, and I'll catch you on the next episode.